आज ही डाउटनेट ऐप डाउनलोड करें। डाउटनेट पर होगा अब आपके सभी मैथ्स, केमिस्ट्री, फिजिक्स और बायोलॉजी डाउट्स का सफाया। बस अपने क्वेश्चन की फोटो खींचो, उसे क्रॉप करो और तुरंत वीडियो सोल्यूशन पाओ। डाउनलोड नाउ।
Hello friends, welcome. The question states, in the figure L2 is parallel to L3. L2 is parallel to L3. Which of the following could be false? And then we have four options. So if we look at the figure, we can see there are four lines, L1, L2, L3 and L4. And it has been told us that L2 is parallel to L3. So there are two lines, L1 and L4, about which we don't have much information. So they are just intersecting L2 and L3 or crossing the two parallel lines which are L2 and L3, right? Now, there are four options which says A is equals to E, B plus E is equals to 180 degrees. So if we look at the figure, we can see that A, B, C, D and E are respectively 5 different angles in this particular figure, wherein we can see the four intersecting lines. So two are parallel and we don't have much information about the other two lines. So before we dive into this question, we need to look at few facts. So let us check those things. Now, whenever we have a pair of parallel lines, so say these two lines are parallel and there is a line which intersects them, right? There's a line which intersects them. So let me name them x1, x2 and x3, right? And these two lines are parallel to each other and this is a intersecting line. So in such case, this line is called a transversal, first thing, right? Now, whenever a pair of parallel lines are being intersected by a transversal, it gives rise to 8 different angles. So angle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So a total of 8 angles are being generated when such kind of scenario occurs. Here, these angles could be categorized into various categories. So if we look at the first category, it says vertically opposite angles, right? Vertically opposite angles. So these angles are vertically opposite to each other. So those angles are 1, 4, right? 1 and 4 are those angles. Then we have 2 and 3, they are opposite to each other. So 2 and 3, right? And then we have 5 and 8 and 6 and 7. So 5 and 8 and 6 and 7. That means they are exactly opposite to each other, right? And these angles are equal. So 1 equals to 4, 2 equals to 3, 5 equals to 8 and 6 equals to 7. In the same way, the second category of angles could be called as corresponding angles. Right? And these corresponding angles are, like there are two parallel lines. So if we look to the top side of both of these lines for spotting a pair of corresponding angles. So this is the transversal, we look at the left, and for both the parallel lines, we look above them. So we have angles 1 and angle 5. Now if we look at the right, we have 2 and 6. If we look below the parallel lines and left to the transversal, we have 3 and 7. And if we look to the right of the transversal and again below the parallel lines, we have 4 and 8. So these angles are also equal. So I can say that 1 is equals to 5. And then we have 2 equals to 6. So 2 is equals to 6. Similarly, we have 3 equals to 7. And then we have 4 is equals to 8. Right? So we have done vertically opposite angles and corresponding angles. So these angles are also equal to each other, right? Like these angles are also equal to each other. Third category can be alternate angles. So alternate angles. And these angles are of further two types, which are exterior. So alternate exterior angles and interior, or alternate interior angles. So we have alternate exterior angles as, so alternate means on the opposite side and exterior means outside. So who's opposite and who's outside. So obviously there are two parallel lines, so we can look outside the scope of these parallel lines. So if this is the interior region, this top side and this bottom side could be considered outside, right? So if we look at alternate exterior angles, they are 1 is equals to 8 and we have, so 1 is equals to 8 and 2 is equals to 7, because on the exterior of the parallel lines are alternate, so opposite direction to the transversal, so they are also equal. So 1 is equals to 8 and 2 is equals to 7, right? And similarly, if we look at alternate interior angles, they will be 3, 6, 4 and 5. So 3 is equals to 6 and 4 is equals to 5. So we are done with all the important pair of angles when a transversal is intersecting a pair of parallel lines. And one last thing that we need to keep in mind is the sum of angles on the same side of a transversal or same side of any line is 180 degrees. So we can say 5 plus 7 is equals to 180 degree, 6 plus 8 is equals to 180 degree, and so on. 5 plus 6 is 180 degree, 3 plus 4 is 180 degree, 1 plus 3 is 180 degree, because they lie on the same side of a line, right? So their sum is 180 degree. They are known as corresponding angles. My bad, that is known as supplementary angles, right? Where sum is equals to 180 degrees, right? So if sum is 180 degree, the angles are known as supplementary. Now, such as 5 plus 7 and 6 plus 8. So 5 and 7 are pair of supplementary angles. Now if we look at this particular question, it says A is equals to E, right? So it is said A is equals to E. Now if we look at this question, we can see that if this is the transversal, right? So this is the transversal and L2 and L3 are parallel and L4 is the transversal that we are looking at. So A and E form a pair of alternate exterior angles. Like we had 1 and 8, 1 equals to 8, 2 is equals to 7, right? So 1, 8, 2, 7, these were exterior angles. So if we have L4 as a transversal to L2 and L3 which are parallel to each other, we can say that A is equals to E because they form alternate exterior angles, right? So this case, that means A is equals to E is true. And the question is asking which one could be false. So if we look at second option, it says B plus E is equals to 180 degrees. So what are B and E? So B and E are over here. So how do we look at this question? Now in the first option, we check that A is equals to E. That means E has the same value that of A, and we have verified this, that they are alternate exterior angles. And we can say that B plus A is same as B plus E, right? So we can say B plus A is equal to B plus E. Why? Because A is equals to E, right? Since A is equals to E, right? And it is said B plus E is equals to 180 degree and B plus E is same as B plus A. But B plus A lie on the same side. So what are they? They are supplementary angles and their sum is 180 degrees. So B plus A is same as B plus E because A is equals to E and their sum is 180 degrees. So this is also correct, right? Now, third option says L1 is perpendicular to L4. So this symbol means perpendicular, right? So whenever we have this kind of symbol, it stands for perpendicular. So it says L1 perpendicular to L4. But if we look at this figure, L1 and L4 are over here and then the angle formed between them is C. And since C and D are vertically opposite angles, like we looked over here, like 1, 4, 2 and 3, 5 or 8, 6 and 7. So their value should be equal, right? Which is option 4, but we'll look at that later. But L1 is perpendicular to L4. So L1 if perpendicular to L4, then the angle formed here should be 90 degrees, right? Over here, the angle formed should be 90 degrees. But we cannot say anything about it because L2 is parallel to L3, but we don't have any information about L1 and L4. So we are not sure about this. And if you look at option 4, it says C is equals to D. So C is equals to D because they are vertically opposite angles. We looked right now itself, right? So vertically opposite angles like 1, 4, 2, 3, right? So C is equals to D because they are vertically opposite angles in this case, right? That means we can say L1 perpendicular to L4 may or may not be true. So the question says, which of the following could be false? and 3 of them are definitely true. And option third, we can say L1 perpendicular to L4 may or may not be true because we don't have enough information to comment on that. So this could be false. So the correct answer for us for this particular question is option 3. And if it says which one could be false, L1 perpendicular to L4 can be false because we don't have enough information. And we looked at this particular question by having a look at these 3 special type of angles or angle relations and supplementary angles like 5 plus 7, 6 plus 8 that are on the same side of a line. That is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. So the correct answer is also option third.
क्लास 6 से 12 से लेके नीट IIT JEE मेंस और एडवांस के लेवल तक 10 मिलियन से ज्यादा स्टूडेंट्स का भरोसा। आज ही डाउनलोड करें डाउटनेट ऐप या व्हाट्सएप कीजिए अपने डाउट्स 8400 400 400 पर।